Hey, just because you're getting a little older doesn't mean you should not be able to knock that driver way, way out there, even over 300 yards still. Sounds impossible? Well, right after this, I'm going to show you some tips you can use as a senior golfer, or really any golfer, to help you get 30 or 40 more yards off the tee easily. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. Like and subscribe for more content like this. This first tip has been utilized by the highest contending senior golfers in major history. We're talking about Tom Watson, Sam Snead, Phil Mickelson. What is that? Well into their 50s, all golfers who either won or finished second in a major, contending against people less than half their age, they kept their swings long, at least to parallel, if not past, in all three of those cases. I urge you not only to practice making your swing longer, but also make it longer in the follow-through as well. I like to use this weighted orange whip club because it gives me lots of stretching momentum, and I will just practice making long swings, way past where I need to go with the club. And I'll do that most every day, just loosening up. Then I might practice 5 or 10 drives, no matter how poorly I strike this. I'm going to make sure that I try to get this club to or past parallel. Let's check it out. Now that was quite a stretch for me, and I felt like I was in no man's land, just looking for the route back down to strike the ball again. However, once you practice this enough times, day after day, just a few times, both at home and on the range, your swing is slowly going to get longer. Practice exaggeration, expecting to only get half of the performance. Now, many senior golfers have a power leak right at address. Most of you swing steep and over the top. You bias yourself by setting up that way with the right arm up on top of the left like this and the right shoulder high and over the target line. And this leads you to a slicing, powerless style of swing. If you want mega distance, I want you to do the opposite. And it's okay to over-exaggerate this a bit. I want you to put some bias, I call it upper deck right center field bias, into your setup. So I am going to tilt and turn my shoulders in that first example. Let's make that the other way. We're going to point this club into the upper deck in right center field like this. So I am a little more tilted. Look at it from this angle. There's your over the top. Let's do the opposite. A little more tilt and turn, feeling like you're in the upper deck in right field. That would look something like this. And get yourself biased towards a high draw swing, something like this. So I'm biased, and I can hit some really powerful draws from the inside with the club turning upwards into impact like that one. Now, if you want to hit a drive a long way, you cannot pull the club through or squeeze and hold the club and not have any kind of follow through. The club must make a loud whistling sound if it is not striking the ball. If you were just taking an air swing. With this swoosh stick, you can easily hear a good release, a free, fast golf swing, because you'll hear the club head swoosh through the air like this. Just like that. Now, I also recommend you get a speed radar to put next to the ball or out in front that will measure the speed of your swing and give you feedback. So when you do practice two of those tips together, which is long past parallel backswing and loud swoosh. You can discover, it's a discovery process. Learn what makes the golf swing go faster. So, swoosh the club, make it loud. With my driver, that sounds like this. Now these last two distance tips go together as a pair, and they're very, very simple. The book tells you that you should tee the ball up off your left instep, just like this. Now I catch a lot of you senior golfers putting your driver more towards the middle. The problem with this is we now know how much bonus distance you can get, especially for senior golfers who have a difficult time getting air carry. You're going to lose a ton of distance because you're not taking advantage of the upstrike. So instead of middle, which is terrible, you're going to hit it low bullets that don't go very far unless you're on an airplane runway. This is pretty good, but this may only encourage you to strike up on the ball maybe 1 or 2 degrees. But instead, what I'm going to do is be much more aggressive than this. And I'm going to put the ball at least to my pinky toe here so that I can really hit up on this thing. Now, TrackMan says I hit that last ball upwards 6 degrees. Adds lots of loft to my drive, gets it way out there in the air. If you don't have a ton of club head speed, 70, 75, 80 miles an hour, you're going to struggle with air carry. You need to get that launch way, way up. You'll still get the roll because you're not hitting it hard enough to create excess backspin anyway. So let's get that ball up, move the ball forward, and strike up on it. Now the tip that goes with the ball position is tee height. They've even done a great study on tee height and how much better it is when you tee the ball up higher. Check the results here on the screen. Not only are you getting at least 15 extra yards by teeing the ball up higher, but also you're hitting more fairways. So you can't go wrong teeing up the ball higher. However, you do have to combine it with the ball position tip and the shoulder bias tip. And then when you have all three, you're really going to start nailing your drives out there a long way. So in this case, I'm teeing this up to where approximately 3/4 of the ball is above the crown of the club. I don't think half the ball above the crown is going to be enough to really guarantee that you can get several degrees upstrike on this thing and get all that bonus distance. In some cases, if you can really go to the extreme, you can tee up the entire golf ball above the crown. This is what pro long drivers do, and even higher. They'll tee it up on a 4-inch tee as high as they can get it, so they can take advantage of the most possible upstrike and air carry they can get. Now, I hear you in my ear already telling me when I tee it up high, I sky it. This is because you have not followed the previous tips. You have not been playing it forward enough or biasing your setup enough to hit up and out, but down and across. And if you swing down and across with a high tee, you're going to pop it up. So when you can incorporate those other two tips, you'll start craving a higher and higher tee. This is 3/4 above. It allows me to really take advantage when I combine it with the ball position and the bias shoulders. I can really hit up on this thing. Now, I've taken hundreds of senior golfers through this exact same program, and I've seen golfers get anywhere from 30 to even 90 yards difference. My student Gordon, he went from hitting it 140 yards with his best drive to where later on, a few months later, after we worked on all 5 of these tips together, he was able to post a record drive of 237 yards. So 90 yards for him. What will you get if you incorporated these 5 tips? I'll bet you it's 30 yards or more. These aren't even the toughest tips to implement in the whole world. I think you'll be able to just tie one at a time and keep building on it. I can't wait to see and hear about the drives you're going to hit. Hey, if you head over to my website, hititlonger.com, you're going to find hundreds of more videos, articles, and access to personalized one-on-one coaching, just you and me. And between all these 3, I'm just sure that your golf game is going to improve. But hey, thanks for watching this video. If I don't see you in the next one, which I hope you'll watch, but if I don't, I'm sure I'm going to see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.